Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We got a cologne war that's ramping up big time here. We're going to be going over Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill versus Rayhaan Pacific Aura and Alexandria Fragrances Pacific Coast. And this battle is going to be intense. In the fragrance community, Pacific Chill is known for its citrus, airy, fruity, vacation-like scent. And in this one, we're going to be comparing it against two of its most hyped competitors in the cologne market. And that's Rayhaan Pacific Aura and Alexandria Fragrances Pacific Coast. We got Rayhaan Pacific Aura and we got Alexandria Fragrances Pacific Coast. And we're going to be answering the question that everybody wants to know. Do these get close enough to Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill? Are they even in the same ballpark? We're going to find that out here. We're going to be breaking down how it smells, the quality, the performance, and just like the overall vibe you get from these fragrances. Before we talk about the colognes, let's talk about Pacific Chill for a second. And what makes Pacific Chill so special to me is not only that bright citrus, airy opening that it has, it's that little hint of mint that it has that gives it this cooling aspect that really it gives us an extra layer in there. And then it gets into the base notes with that sweetness from the apricot and the fig, and it just smells so good. It gives you the total vacation vibe. It got that citrus, airy, fruity sweetness. It's really nice. What really separates Louis Vuitton from its competitor colognes is how it's blended. It's just blended so well and mixed so smoothly, and it's just so refined and smells luxury. It just smells luxury. When you smell it, you're like, oh, that smells expensive. And it is expensive. With Louis Vuitton, nothing sticks out harsh. Everything smells natural. It doesn't smell synthetic. It smells really smooth, really refined, and really natural. And that right there is something to be said for. That's why it costs so much. It's because you get such high ingredients. What separates Pacific Chill from its cologne competitors is that nothing sticks out harshly. Nothing smells synthetic. Everything smells natural, smooth, even kill. It's just a very well blended fragrance, and that's what separates the high-end luxury Louis Vuitton from its cologne competitors. And when it dries down, you get that fruity apricot aspect that really gives the Pacific Chill a lot of personality. The fragrance community likes to describe Pacific Chill as having like a fruity, citrusy, minty aspect to it, with that apricot dry down, bringing in that sweetness that brings it all around. To me, Pacific Chill just smells like a wealthy, high-end luxury fragrance. Pacific Chill brings the straight up, I'm going on vacation somewhere expensive vibe. And it's like somebody's drinking a fresh smoothie on the California beach, throwing $100 bills in the air. So we're going to see if these colognes come close to the OG Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. And first off the bat is the Rayhaan Pacific Aura. Cool bottle, pretty bottle. This one has gained a lot of popularity here lately because a lot of people say this gets really close to the minty, fruity, citrus aspects of the Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. I'm going to spray this on a tester strip and get my nose on it here. Ooh, look at that atomizer. It's got a good atomizer. Oh yeah. About to sneeze. I sniffed too much of it straight in my nose. Super citrusy off the top, just like the Louis Vuitton. It's crazy how close that is to the Louis Vuitton. Really citrusy off the top, just like the Louis Vuitton. Right off the rip, this is going the Pacific Chill direction. You're getting that citrus, a little bit of mint, and it has that nice airy aspect that the Pacific Chill has. It's really capturing that very well. And be straight up with y'all, for the price, this opening is damn 10 out of 10. It's a killer opening on this. It smells so good. It's really citrusy, sharp, and just smells really good. They've done a really good job at Rayhaan with getting this Pacific Aura really close to the Pacific Chill DNA. Very good job. But here's the difference that I'm noticing pretty immediately here. The Pacific Aura is sharper and louder than the Pacific Chill. Right off the rip it is. You can tell it immediately. It smells really good, but it has a little more of a synthetic smell than the Pacific Chill from Louis Vuitton does. Louis Vuitton is just a more smoothed out, more natural smelling fragrance. Right off the rip, I get that off this Pacific Aura. Pacific Aura is definitely more citrusy and louder off the rip, lacking some of the smoothness that Louis Vuitton brings to the table. And Pacific Chill from Louis Vuitton, I believe, balances the fruity aspect a little better, or it smells a little more natural than what I'm getting with the Rayhaan Pacific Aura. Performance on the Pacific Aura, it's going to be solid, especially for a freshie. This is going to be solid, I can already tell it. I haven't worn this much. Actually, today's the first day I've used it, but I mean, it projects like crazy on the texture strip and on this hand that I sprayed it on earlier. It's loud. It's a very well projecting fragrance, and it's going to be a better performer than the Louis Vuitton. I can tell that immediately. If you're looking for the fresh, uplifting, citrus, airy, minty opening that the Pacific Chill brings, but you don't want to go bankrupt in buying the Pacific Chill, honestly, Pacific Aura is an excellent option, and it should put it on your radar. Now let's talk about Alexandria Fragrances Pacific Coast. Not a lot of people know about this one. Alexandria Fragrances takes a slightly different approach from Pacific Chill and Pacific Aura. It kind of does its own thing. It's not like either one of the Pacific Chill or the Pacific Aura. Pacific Coast does its own thing, and all these Pacific names are about to confuse me. Where Rayhaan Pacific Aura focused more on the more bright, citrusy, mini opening, Alexandria Coast focuses more on the sweeter aspect of the Pacific Chill's bottom dry down note. This is the more sweet of the three, and that's really what sets the Alexandria Fragrances apart from the Rayhaan and the Louis Vuitton, is it just is a sweeter fragrance than the other two. It has a more dense, more apricot, fig heavy smelling fragrance. And it smells really good, especially if you like sweeter, fruity fragrances. You'll really like the Pacific Coast, probably better than Pacific Aura and Pacific Chill. The Pacific Coast is definitely the sweeter of the three, and if that's your thing, you'll probably lean more towards the Alexandria Fragrances as opposed to the Louis Vuitton's bright, airy, citrusy opening, and the even more bright, airy, citrusy opening of the Rayhaan Pacific Aura. This one just brings a nice, thicker, more dense, sweet, fruity, apricot, fig aspect to it than the other two do. We're going to spray the Pacific Coast on the tester strip now. I've smelled it a ton, I've wore it a ton, but I want to smell it now. They have an amazing atomizer. Best atomizer of the three Alexandria Fragrances. Although I don't have the bottle of Louis Vuitton, but I have a bottle of Imagination, and its atomizer is not as good as this. Yeah, Pacific Coast from Alexandria Fragrances. It gets really close to the DNA of the Pacific Chill. It's really close, just like the Rayhaan was. This is right there with the Rayhaan. Both their openings are really close to the Louis Vuitton's opening. I'd say they're both like 85, maybe 90% accurate to Louis Vuitton's opening. The biggest difference in the three right now that I'm getting is sweeter Alexandria, brighter, sharper Rayhaan, and then smoother, more refined, rounded out Louis Vuitton. All three of these have their weaknesses and their strengths. Louis Vuitton just smells really good, well-rounded, high quality, luxury, high-end ingredients. You can tell it when you smell it. That rhymed. Alexandria Fragrance gets really close to Louis Vuitton DNA, brings that extra sweetness. And Rayhaan, it's got that really bright punch right off the top there, more so than the other three. And really, honestly, it depends on which one of those three you want better. If you want to spend more money for the luxury, get Louis Vuitton. If you like a sweeter fragrance, get Alexandria Fragrances, Pacific Coast. If you want the loudest one of the bunch, Rayhaan Pacific Aura. With all that being said, Louis Vuitton smells the best. Louis Vuitton has the worst performance. Alexandria Fragrances is the sweeter, more fruity. Rayhaan is the best performer, louder of the three. You make your choice. If you don't care paying a mortgage payment for a fragrance, get Louis Vuitton. And then the other two, choose which one you like best, sweeter or louder. There you go. I just summed it all up for you right there. So were these clones close to Louis Vuitton? You damn right they are. They did an exceptional job getting these close to the OG Louis Vuitton Pacific Chill. But in doing that, each of the clones, they do their own thing. They go their own path. They are not exactly the same. They both go their own path. And they are both amazing. They're both worthy to buy. I'm glad I've got them all because they all smell good and they're all a little bit different. So it's not like something that's the same as everything else. And with that being said, if you already own Pacific Chill, you're probably not going to be buying these clones because Pacific Chill does smell better. You just have to reapply it more throughout the day to get freshened up so you smell it more. But other than that, it smells better. It's the better smelling of the bunch, to me at least. I'm not the biggest on fruity stuff, so I like it better than Alexandria for that aspect. And the Rayhaan smells more synthetic of the three, but it's the loudest, more projecting, better performer of the three as well. So it just depends on what you're looking for. But if you already own Pacific Chill, you're probably not going to want the clones. So now I want to hear from you guys. Have you tried any of these clones right here? Have you tried Pacific Chill? What do you think? Which one of these two clones gets closer to Pacific Chill? Or do they at all, in your opinion? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would appreciate it. Do you have any other recommendations for clones I need to do comparisons on? Let me know in the comment section. And once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. I really appreciate it. If you could please like, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the notification bell for when I drop new videos out. I would appreciate it. And once again, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon. The Clone Wars are just ramping up.